Hello YouTube, Message in a Bottle here with another video. And as you could guess by the title of this video and judging by the picture that I'm using of this video along with the music of the background, you could say that while I am not a prophet or some kind of person with magical abilities to predict the future, I still think what I predicted came true. But I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't have um, actual proof, actual sources, but I have a gut feeling, judging by some things that I've seen, especially with connections back home. I feel like I ended up being right again. And it's very tragic because I kind of wish I was wrong. I honestly do not wish anything bad towards anyone, especially the individual that I made a video about, the message video. And again, guys, just a reminder and just a disclosure, I'm not trying to harass anyone. I'm not trying to make anyone uncomfortable. I'm just a dude with a YouTube channel trying to essentially send a message. And with these messages, I'm hoping that you guys could learn from them, learn like what I'm trying to say, and don't be dumb in real life. Like, literally, don't be dumb. Be smart, be alert. Don't be dumb. What I seen throughout my lifetime, it's mostly because people are not aware, are not alert, are not paying attention, and more importantly, they don't want to admit the truth what's right in front of them. And usually, when people ignore all of those stuff, bad things happen to them for reasons. And I'm a strong believer in karma, but I'm also a strong believer in the Christian religion. Just in case if you guys don't know what religion I believe in, but yeah. And the whole point of me making this YouTube channel is hopefully you guys could watch my video, hear the message that I'm trying to say, which is why I named this YouTube channel Message in a Bottle. And hopefully you guys could do the right choice, the right decision. I always encourage the philosophy think for yourself. Like, literally, you're a sentient being. You have to think for yourself. Not everyone that loves you is gonna be there for you 24/7. It's only the one and above. You know who I'm talking about, the one and above, our creator, that's always with you spiritually 24/7. And yeah, you have to think for yourself, you have to trust your inspiration. But more importantly, you have to be alert. You have to know the type of environment you're in and understand the reality that you're in, because people, they like to think that, oh, this is not going to happen to me. Oh, I have like the ultimate safety net, so I'm not scared or worry about it until the time to worry, the time to panic comes. And then that's when they realize, oh crap, I don't have my shit together. And sorry guys, I'm ranting again, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that recently I discovered that there are a lot of signs pointing out that I might be correct. I might be correct about this person that I mentioned before in my YouTube channel. You know what? For those of you who scroll in my YouTube channel and see my other videos, you probably know what I'm talking about, especially that message video. Again, disclaimer, I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record, but I had to, you know, remind you guys that uh, that I'm not trying to make anyone comfortable, like, not trying to harass anyone, not trying to make anyone uncomfortable. I'm just trying to have a sense of closure, and more importantly, speak the truth of what happened, because I feel like 90% of people's issues could easily be avoided if you just be a little honest and have a little self-awareness. and more importantly have better decision making. Like literally, I done some dumb stuff in my life, and looking back in my memories, I feel like most of those dumb decisions, those dumb situations that I've been in, could have easily been avoided very easily. But I went along those decisions because I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't, you know, being aware of what's going on, and yet, bad stuff happened to me. But luckily, I'm still alive. I have all my limbs. I don't have serious bodily injuries. I have my good health, and for my age, I'm relatively very healthy. And I hope I could maintain that healthiness. But anyway, basically, what I'm trying to say, guys, is that recently I discovered that I could be 100% right of what I predicted. I feel like the relationship of that individual that I spoke about before, especially in that message video, she's no longer with that guy. And that guy, I'm pretty sure he's heartbroken. And what's funny, when I look back, what happened back there, I tried to warn that guy. I tried to essentially establish a communication with that guy and apologize to him because I did not meant to disrespect him. I did not meant to punish him. What I meant is punish her, and I wanted a sense of closure or sense of understanding of what the hell is was going on back there because she knew I left her alone. She knew that I sort of stopped communicating with her because there is something odd going on between me and her, and because she was dating him, that could potentially lead to problems, and I wanted to avoid those problems. And I have a gut feeling she was fully aware of that, of my intention. And what really bothered me the most was the fact that she tried to frame the whole situation against me, tried to make me look like the bad guy. And all I wanted was to communicate with her and have a sense of closure and understanding of what was going on back there. But sadly, she kind of robbed me of that and literally tried to frame me to make me look like the bad guy. But as I stated in that message video, I left that situation, I left that scene unscathed. And the main reason why I left that scene unscathed is because I was telling the truth. And in my part, I respected her boundaries and left her alone. And because of that, she has no leverage against me. And more importantly, because that work environment was very closely knit, in other words, a lot of people knew what was going on. A lot of people, their story lined up with my story. I won't say a lot of people supported me, but I will say that a lot of people understood what was going on, and the story they told lined it up with my story, and it ended up me being correct, me being right because I was telling the truth. And as a result, I left that scene unscathed, even though she attempted to make me look like the bad guy. And now, and now I'm having like, I'm seeing some evidence or reports or some kind of signs that I end up being more than correct. If you guys remember what I said in that message video, I feel like that relationship that she's having with him is not gonna last long. Well, I discovered that. Well, I won't say discover because I'm not 100% sure, but there are signs that are suggesting that they're no longer together. And since they're no longer together, well, you could say I'm right, but I will be honest with you guys. I did not want to be right. I wanted them to have a happily ever after story. But again, this is the real world. This is the world we live in where breakups and heartaches are common. And me, I had my own breakup a long time ago, and I will make a video about that because, again, I wanted to leave message videos. I want to leave behind some kind of, I want to say legacy, but more like wisdom for my viewers to see it and hear it for themselves and understand where I'm coming from because this is way more common than you guys realize. This is way more common than people realize, and a lot of guys out there, if you guys remember what I said in my message video, I said a lot of guys out there put their heads in the sand and want to believe in that happily ever after story. But in reality, women, they're perfectly capable of committing crime against relationship, and they're perfectly capable of destroying you emotionally. And this is, you could say, the fault of us man wants to believe that you women are angels, are perfect beings, but dude, no one is perfect. And I will be fair here, us guys, where we also have bad apples in our side. We're not perfect either, and we have our own issue. Both sides have their own issue because we're all humans. But a lot of guys, they want to believe in that sweet, beautiful lie. The lie of a woman could do no wrong, the lie of a woman is a perfect angel, and the lie of, a guy could have that happily ever after story with the other individual. But sadly, again, this is the real world, and this is way, way more common than people realize. That's why in my past couple of videos, I was talking about relationship for a reason. And more importantly, and this is something I want people to understand, my viewers, is relationship, they could destroy you or they could make you. And sometimes a little in the between, but more importantly, it affects you of your livelihood. Because if you guys think about it, when you're in a relationship with another person, you're essentially inviting that other person into your life. And more importantly, you're making yourself vulnerable where that other person could either help you or destroy you, literally. And when I say literally, I mean like spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, etc., etc. You are literally inviting another person into your life, and you are also being vulnerable with that other person. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Relationship affects people in both ways, and relationship is more serious than people realize. Why you think in this day and age dating is gone down the drain? Dating has become an issue, and dating has become a almost a common topic in the internet. And the main reason why is because people are slowly waking up and realizing that relationship is way more serious than people realize. And that's why I have a feeling that things are definitely going to get worse before it gets better. But when it does get better, people will understand why we had traditions, why we had values, but more importantly, why we had this culture of self discipline where we had to acknowledge and train ourselves to be better. One of my biggest rabbit hole I ever fell down to was the reality of sex itself. And I wish the sex education that is being taught in school discuss this more about it, because I feel like this is a very important information that people need to learn. Sex itself really does hardwire your brain, and it programs your brain to be, how do I say this, to be loyal or bonding to the other individual that you're, mating or sleeping with. Like, if you literally do some Google research, guys, oxytocin and dopamine is the most common hormones that's being released into your brain when you're in love with someone. And what is oxytocin? It's a bonding hormone. You literally bond with that other person. And when you bond with that other person, your brain is being programmed, hey, I'm gonna be with this person. I want to spend the rest of my life with that other person. And then there are reports, literally, like you could Google this, guys. I'm not lying. You could Google reports about the more people sleep with other people, the less likely of a successful marriage that person will have. In other words, All right, for example, women. If a woman had more sexual partners, the higher likeliness of that woman having divorce when she gets married. And the m- I'm trying to I'm trying to think how to use my words here. Sorry guys, I'm a little autistic and I do have a speech impediment, but what I'm trying to say here is that sex itself is more sacred than people realize, and the people that value like the sacredness of sex are more likely to be in a successful relationship and marriage for the long run. And more importantly, people that are honest with themselves of who they are attracted to will also be more likely to be in a successful relationship, marriage in the long run. Why you think in one of my previous video I was featuring Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy Reagan? Both of them, what they had in common is that they had previous sexual partners, but that's a human normal thing. Like you fail at a relationship, so you gotta move on. But when they found each other, they instantly knew in their gut instinct, intuition, etc. They instantly knew that they both were meant for each other, and they were honest with each other that they want to be with each other. I know I'm sounding like a broken record right now, but my point is that Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan, their relationship is the most successful, admirable relationship recorded in history because both of them, right in their final years, they were still madly in love with each other. And even their kids acknowledged this. I remember one time I was watching a video about Ronald Reagan's daughter talking about her mother, how she still has glittering eyes for Ronald Reagan every time when, Ronald Reagan makes a speech and Nancy Reagan is just looking at his husband with admiration. Even though they're in their late age, she still has eyes like that. And see, guys, that's the point I'm trying to make throughout my YouTube channel that when it comes to relationship, if you want to be in a successful relationship, be honest with yourself of who you want to be with, but more importantly, be honest with yourself about the attraction part. Because I'm a little bit baffled how we live in an age where women they have total independence from us men, and yet they lie to themselves of who they're attracted to. They be in a relationship with guys that they don't sincerely are attracted to. And by the way, there are lots of YouTube videos about that. There are lots of YouTube videos where women admits that they're not attracted to their boyfriend, that they're not attracted to their husband, and then the whole relationship, the whole marriage, it ends up being sexless. And to me, that's baffling that that's still ongoing. It's baffling because supposedly we're living in an age where woman has independence from us men. So yeah, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but it's kind of tragic that what I kind of predicted turns out to be correct, and all I had to do is make observation. I kind of knew that that relationship wasn't going to end well, and I feel sorry for the guy. I tried to warn him, but he didn't want to listen, and he didn't want to care to what I had to say. Now, it's fine that he doesn't care what I have to say or my opinion. I think what's horrible is he choosely to ignore the red flags that was right in front of his face. And if you guys remember what I said in my past couple of videos, I mentioned the girl's best friend who got involved with the situation because me personally, I kind of dragged her into the situation. And even she understood what was going on. And more importantly, when she understood what's going on, how do I say this? In her view, she understood the situation, but more importantly, she understood that it's not me that I'm the issue. In matter of fact, me in the whole situation is like not important. What was important was the girl of her being in a relationship with that guy, and me, I'm out of the picture. What was what she understood is that the girl was being dishonest with herself of being in a relationship with that guy, and the dishonesty was her lack of attraction to that guy. And her best friend understood that, and I have a gut feeling that her best friend distanced herself from her because she knew that that relationship is not going to last. And me, sadly, I was just a random stranger that got to witness that. So, guys, I think I ranted enough. As a matter of fact, I'm over 20 minutes. But I'm making this video because ever since I made that discovery that I end up being right of the relationship not gonna last long, I just knew. Like, I did not want to be right about it because I did not want to wish bad things to other people. But again, we live in a real world. We live in a world where this stuff happens. And yeah, I feel sorry for the dude, but hey, it is what it is. So, guys, I'm gonna end it here. And again, be smart with your decision making, be alert, be aware of your surrounding. Like I said, most of the bad stuff that's happening it could easily be avoidable if people would just be smart about it. That's the best way I could put it in simple terms. So, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. I really am open to you guys' thoughts, and I want to hear it. So, guys, thank you, and goodbye.